Welcome back to Project 82, the SCP Remote Access Database. Which case file do you require?
Item number SCP-465, Object Class, Safe. SCP-465 is secured in Containment Locker 8423 at Site 19. Under no circumstances is SCP-465 to be opened by any personnel ranking above Class D, and then only in a space at least 15 square meters in area. No other special attention or care is required. SCP-465-01 is a large two-piece cardboard box decorated with a faded confetti pattern popular in the 1970s. Other than the large printed label on the top of the lid marked Party in a Box, no other indication of contents or manufacturer are found on any portion of the object. When any human subject completely removes the lid of SCP-465-01, an array of decorations, furniture, and a group of at least 20 people, collectively SCP-465-02, appear spontaneously in the room or immediate vicinity in which the box was opened. These individuals proceed to celebrate raucously and actively attempt to include the subject in their festivities, primarily dancing and consumption of alcohol. Though most members of SCP-465-02 are persistent in these attempts, and several of them extremely persuasive, the subject does not appear to be compelled to participate. Should the subject attempt to leave the party, additional members of SCP-465-02 will manifest at any location that the subject visits for the duration of the party. Approximately 5 hours following the appearance of SCP-465-02, all instances of SCP-465-02 will simultaneously vanish, accompanied by the subject if he or she has consumed any amount of alcohol in the course of the party. At the same time, the lid of SCP-465-01 will reappear atop the box in the closed position, and any damage sustained by SCP-465-01 in the course of the party is reversed. Attempts to close or damage the box prior to the end of the time limit have had no effects on this phenomenon, nor have attempts to distance the subject from SCP-465-01 prior to the conclusion of the party. Subjects that have vanished as a result of interaction with the box may appear among the members of SCP-465-02 during subsequent activations of SCP-465-01, expressing little or no association with their original identities. Of the individuals comprising SCP-465-02, only 2 have appeared on every occasion that the box has been opened. The first, designated 02-A001, is a male disc jockey and appears with a table covered in sound equipment and other tools, which he uses to play a wide variety of music audible wherever instances of SCP-465-02 are present. The second, designated 02-A002, is a male bartender and appears with a small, well-stocked bar from which he distributes a variety of alcoholic beverages. An additional 185 unique members of SCP-465-02 have been identified, many of whom have appeared on 2 or more separate occasions, most notably 02-A048 and 02-A162. If a party guest appearing as part of SCP-465-02 is touched by any individual other than the subject who opened SCP-465-01, that guest would immediately become hysterical and incoherent, pleading in slurred speech with the individual who made contact. The majority of these guests will attempt to flee from the vicinity and will vanish upon entering an area where no other elements of SCP-465-02 are present. The remainder of guests affected in this way will fall dead within several minutes of contact. The corpses of these individuals do not vanish with the rest of SCP-465-02, nor do such individuals appear in future manifestations of SCP-465-02. Autopsies reveal cause of death to be a combination of exhaustion and blood alcohol levels in excess of 1.8. By contrast, 02-A001 and 02-A002 consistently ignore all individuals save for the activating subject and other members of SCP-465-02. Attempts at physical contact with either entity have resulted in premature termination of the party. The significance of 02-A001 and 02-A002 remains unknown.
Case file ends. Which case file do you require?
Item number SCP-471. Object Class Euclid. Methods of containing SCP-471 are currently being investigated. Primary goal of containment is to block the non-terrestrial transmissions emanating from it, with the secondary goal of acquiring and studying SCP-471 itself. MTF-MU4, Debuggers, is currently tasked with blocking SCP-471's transmissions. Observation Probe Delta-2 is currently in an elliptical orbit around Earth that allows it to regularly intersect the signal emanating from SCP-471. It is responsible for observing and reporting the signal each time it intersects. Delta-2 also possesses boosters capable of keeping it within the signal for extended periods of time for the purposes of testing or to monitor a significant deviation in SCP-471's signal. SCP-471 is an artificial satellite currently in an elliptical orbit around Earth. SCP-471 appears identical to satellite a weather satellite launched by in 1970. Though SCP-471 superficially resembles satellite, additional equipment of unknown purpose can be seen on its backside. Photographs and manufacturer reports have confirmed that this equipment was not present at the launch of satellite. It is unknown whether satellite was altered after launch or replaced entirely sometime later. SCP-471 has continued transmitting the same weather information satellite has been responsible for, which allowed SCP-471 to go undetected for decades. SCP-471 was first discovered by the Space Shuttle Discovery during a routine maintenance mission to an anomalous signal was detected being transmitted away from Earth, which was traced back to SCP-471. Once Foundation agents within NASA had identified that the satellite was in fact an SCP object, the Foundation took over the investigation and released a cover story indicating that NASA had detected a top-secret military research project. Since its discovery, SCP-471 has transmitted constantly, looping every minutes. Only one interruption in the signal has been recorded. See test log 471-931. The signal is stronger than any the Foundation or any other Earth agency is capable of producing, and all attempts to block it have met with failure. As well, the signal is clearly directed. It is only detectable within a narrow cone, radius to height ratio 0.0013, originating at SCP-471. The target of the signal appears to be fixed on Jupiter. See Addendum 471-01. The contents of the transmission are heavily encrypted and appear to be raw static when observed directly. Were it not for the strength of the signal, NASA would have assumed it was random static generated by the Earth's electromagnetic field. Over time, the signal has evolved, with sections of it changing since its initial discovery. A Foundation supercomputer, BOM-2, was tasked with cracking the encryption and determining the contents of the signal. After running continuously for days, BOM-2 was able to decrypt a small portion of it, which appeared as a series of binary values. While most of the values' purposes remain unknown, several of them were identified to correspond precisely with discrete values relating to Earth, including the current global population, total number of births and deaths that occurred during one complete orbit of SCP-471 around Earth, the Fibonacci sequence up to 75,025, the number of artificial satellites currently in orbit around Earth, final scores of several American baseball games, combined total of nuclear weapons and nuclear power plants on Earth and in satellites, poll results for the 2000 Oklahoma senatorial election. Hours after successfully decrypting this portion of the code, BOM-2 suffered an apparent electronics malfunction. Investigation revealed that BOM-2 had suffered damage consistent with that of an EMP. However, no other electronics in the area had similar effects. The Foundation created a new computer, BOM-3, to pick up where BOM-2 left off. Hours after beginning its analysis, however, BOM-3 suffered identical damage to BOM-2 despite being hardened against an EMP. Whether this is a result of a direct attack or a consequence of the contents of the signal has not been determined. The method by which SCP-471 gathers data is currently unknown and is under investigation. Currently, 3 probes have been launched towards SCP-471 in the hopes of examining it more closely. See test log 471-931 for details. Addendum 471-01. While attempting to glean the purpose of the integer values identified by BOM-2, the Foundation discovered a copy of the signal transmitted by SCP-471, much weaker and with an 88-minute delay, being transmitted back at Earth. Investigation revealed that SCP-471 was transmitting its signal in such a way that it was amplified by the magnetosphere of Jupiter and broadcast in all directions. The copied signal evaded detection because it blended in with the background static naturally produced by Jupiter. Further investigation into the possible interaction of this signal with SCP-2399 and other Jovian-based anomalies is ongoing.
Thank you for your participation in Project 82, transmitting psychoanalytic data to Dr.